Today we're doing one of my favorite things to do in the vegetable garden, and that is to heel sweet corn. I don't know what it is, it's just a beautiful process to me to be able to go in there and throw some dirt up on those corn stalks, get them nice and healthy. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button below and hit that bell button so you get notified when we come out with new videos. If you're a regular subscriber, it's always good to have you back here. So this is our fall sweet corn plot here. We've got 7 rows of peaches and cream sweet corn planted in this little plot here. This area is probably about 20 foot wide by 40 or 50 foot long. And the corn is now up to about, I'd say, a foot tall or a little over, and it's time to heel it. So corn's looking nice and healthy here, but we've got some weeds popping up in there, as you can see. So we need to throw some dirt on top of those weeds, kind of reduce that weed pressure along the row there. We've got our drip irrigation set up here. We always plant corn on a subsurface drip, so we buried that drip there and then plant the corn on top of it. Feeds it really nicely, never gets that plant stressed. Corn grows out really well with that subsurface drip tape. Tiger, are you ready to heel some sweet corn today? You are? Okay, go get the wheel hoe and we'll get to it. Now before we side dress and heel this sweet corn, I want to talk to you about a couple thoughts I had about this whole process that kind of led up to planting this sweet corn in this plot here. So if you watched our previous videos earlier in the year, you saw where we planted a cover crop of sun hemp here in the summer. We let it get nice and tall. We cut it down with a flail mower, and then we tarped this area to kind of kill all that cover crop residue, help to break it down, and also to give us a nice clean slate as far as the weeds go. Now the weed pressure here has certainly been reduced because of the tarp, except for that area where I've just been applying water along the row. We really haven't had any weed pressure between the rows, which is nice. The tarp did a great job of giving us a nice empty weed seed bank for this plot of sweet corn. And once we removed that tarp, we didn't come in here and till this plot before we planted. We did kind of a modified strip till. So we just took our plow set and made a furrow where our rows were going to be, so we could bury our drip tape and then planted right on top of it. Now in hindsight, I don't know if I'll do it that way again, and I'll tell you why. Now we got pretty decent germination on this plot here, as you can see. But there were a couple spots, like you see right here, where our seed didn't come up as well. And I attribute that to there being a lot of residue left from that cover crop. And that residue, what it's going to do is a lot of times it's going to prevent you from getting really good seed to soil contact. Now if I would have came in here with my tiller and tilled where those rows were going to be, as opposed to just running through there with my plow, it probably would have chopped up that residue a lot better, and I would have got better seed to soil contact and a little better germination. Now it's not a lost cause by any means. We've got a good looking stand of corn here, but it's just kind of a lesson learned for me that I will go in there and cultivate those areas where the rows were going to be when I do this in the future, just to get a little better seed to soil contact so that all the seeds I put down will germinate. So before we heel or throw some dirt on these sweet corn stalks with our High Arch Wheel Hoe, we want to side dress this corn. So before you heel, it's always a great opportunity to side dress and put some granular fertilizer down there. It's going to be some nice slow release action for those corn plants. Keep them nice and fed. Corn are heavy feeders, as we know, so they need plenty of nitrogen. So for side dressing, this is the stuff we use right here. This is our organic nitrogen, which is Chilean Nitrates, 1502. So nice high nitrogen fertilizer there. And if we look in there, nice and granular there, real easy to apply to the side of these corn rows here. Now my general rule of thumb is to put 10 pounds per 1,000 square feet of corn, and that's about what I got here. So we're going to sprinkle this along these plants here, right along the row, and get these guys nice and fed. Now when you're side dressing corn, you want to be careful not to get any of this fertilizer on the foliage here, because it will burn it. So you want to put it to the side of these stalks, kind of right along here. You want to put it close enough so when you do run that plow set through there that it covers up that fertilizer and buries it. But you don't want to put it too close to the plant where it burns it. So right to the side of it, just close enough to it without touching the plant. Alright, so we got our corn side dress. We used a whole 10-pound bag of this Chilean Nitrate here on this approximately 1,000 square feet of sweet corn here. And now we get to the fun part, which is hilling the sweet corn. So the ultimate tool for hilling sweet corn is our High Arch Wheel Hoe right here. And you can see through that little tunnel or gateway, we've got about a 15-inch clearance, which is going to allow us to heel that corn when it gets on up a foot or 18 inches tall or so. We've got our plow blades on here, the left and right plow. We've got those set up in the hilling position, so they're going to throw dirt to the middle of the row, throw dirt up on those corn stalks. And let me show you just the wide range of possible adjustments you've got here as far as how narrow or how wide a heel you want to throw. So with the high arch, you can actually adjust the distance between these wheels here. You see those two bolts right there on each side, so you can move these wheels closer together or all the way apart like I've got them here. You can also adjust the distance that the plows are between one another. See this toolbar here, this little rail, I've got them all the way in right now, but you could move them all the way out. So lots of different adjustment possibilities, just depending on how narrow or how wide a heel you want to throw. This is my preferred setup here, is having the wheels all the way out and then the plows all the way in on the toolbar. That seems to work pretty good for me year over year. Alright, so let's heel some sweet corn. Let's throw some dirt on these stalks. Let's bury that fertilizer we just put down. This will be nice, quick, fast, and easy on this little plot right here. Tiger, now you're being lazy. I thought you were going to help me. Okay, you ready to go now? You ready to go now? Okay. Now isn't that just absolutely beautiful there? Got some dirt throwed up on those stalks there, got those weeds smothered out, got that fertilizer folded in, and it just looks pretty when you heel sweet corn like that. Nice, quick, and easy. Now as far as my fertilizer program with the sweet corn goes, I usually like to fertilize it about 4 times throughout its life. So I did shoot some 20-20-20 to it early and through the drip system, and then we've got that Chilean Nitrate down, which is going to give us a little slow release, but this stuff should start to pop pretty quick and start growing pretty fast now that we've buried that Chilean Nitrate beside those plants. And I'll probably fertilize it about 2 more times before it gets mature, we'll do that through the drip tape as well. Put some of our micro boost in there, make sure that corn has all the micronutrients it needs to make a nice crop of fall sweet corn. Now, one other thing to mention about growing sweet corn in the fall is that your worm pressure is going to be higher than when you grow it in the spring. You can see here worms have already been nibbling on those leaves. You can see that worm stinky left behind there on those plants. So we're probably going to have to do something about that soon. Usually we don't spray until the ears start to develop, but if we start seeing these leaves getting gnawed on pretty hard, we're going to definitely take care of it. So probably later this afternoon I'll come in here with some spinosad and go ahead and start spraying this corn and get on a spray program of at least once a week with that spinosad, so I can knock down that worm population so that when my ears do form, I don't have a huge problem. I'm going to try to nip it in the bud now before we have a big explosion of worms later when those ears develop. So from my best estimation, we should have sweet corn getting ready, I would say probably towards the end of October or so. Probably still got another 30 or 40 days left on this stuff here, but I'm really excited about having some peaches and cream sweet corn for the fall. Nice fresh ears of corn. And if you're growing fall sweet corn out there, let me know what varieties you're growing, how's it coming along as you're getting close to ready. A lot of you probably have corn it's a lot taller than mine because you planted a little earlier than I did. If you've never grown fall sweet corn and have any other questions about it, put those in the comments and let me know. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. We'll see you next time. Tiger, that's a wrap. I appreciate all your help. You can go get a snack now, okay?